We're Dennis and Liz, full-time RVers who spent the past 8 months RVing Mexico in our renovated Class C RV. In last week's travel vlog, we arrived to Valladolid, Yucatan, a beautiful pueblo mágico where we were able to try new foods, learn about ancient Mayan bees, and visit some stunning cenotes. In this week's travel vlog, our Valladolid adventures continue as we dine at Chef Rosalia Chay's restaurant from Chef's Table Barbecue.
I can tell this is going to be the best cochinita we've tried by a long shot.
Swim in a secret cenote, and visit the famous ruins of Chichen Itza.
We got cenotes, we got cochinita, we got ruins. Today is one of those days where I just want to pinch myself. It's hard to even believe that this is our life.
We're super excited. This is part 2 of the Valladolid vlog, and today we're bringing you to an extra special place because we're about to eat Cochinita Pibil at one of the top 20 restaurants in the world at Chef Rosalia Chay's house. This is I got goosebumps. That's how cool this is gonna be.
Coming here is a true experience. We're going to be here for about 2.5 hours, and not only do we get to eat Cochinita Pibil and relleno negro among a few other dishes, but we also get to participate in the making of the tortillas. We get to watch her uncover the cochinita from the pib. It truly is a unique way to interact with the Mayan culture. This is a tradition, making Cochinita Pibil in this way, that's been around for centuries, and she makes the best cochinita around. Arguably, I'm sure everyone has their own favorite cochinita, but being voted among the top 20 restaurants in the entire world really has to say something. If you're staying in Valladolid, you're gonna have to drive an hour to Yaxunah, which is a super tiny Mayan pueblo. There's not even cell service, but there are a lot of cool things to do, including an archaeological zone and a cenote that we'll be checking out after dinner when we're super full from all the cochinita. So definitely prepare for this. I do recommend making reservations online. Since they don't have internet here, they don't actually coordinate the reservations, but she does have a website where you can actually pay for the reservations and booking beforehand. It's only $70 US per person to dine here, which if you consider the quality of the food that you're getting and the experience as a whole, that's a steal. If you were to go to any of the other top 20 restaurants, you'd be paying hundreds and hundreds of dollars to dine. Okay. Now that you're filled in on everything, let's have our experience.
Cochinita Pibil, as we know it today, became the traditional dish of the Yucatan after the Spanish arrived in the 1500s. The Mayans, who used a pib, or underground oven, to cook many varieties of food for centuries prior, created the dish using new ingredients imported to the area by the Spanish.
Chef Rosalia Chay makes the most authentic Cochinita Pibil possible, using a special type of black hairless pig called Cerdo Pelon Mexicano, cooking the meat up to 8 hours in the underground pib. Rosalia's masterful skill and love of her craft, a tradition that was passed down to her by her mother, is what elevates her cochinita above others you may try elsewhere in Mexico.
Nearly all the ingredients used to make her Cochinita Pibil and relleno negro are grown in Chef Rosalia's backyard, including sour oranges and achiotes, which give the recado rojo its deep red color. Her kitchen is completely outdoors, employing only the most traditional tools to cook each meal: wood fires, underground pibs, metates for grinding, and comals for baking tortillas. Her sister assists with preparing fresh tortillas by hand each day, a tremendous responsibility considering the average Mayan eats 8 to 10 tortillas with each meal, roughly 30 per day. Make tortillas, man. The traditional Mayan way, no press.
To prepare the Cochinita Pibil and relleno negro, Chef Rosalia makes a recado, a paste of spices and herbs on her metate, a stone grinder traditionally used by the Mayans and other ancient Mesoamerican corn cultures. In the Yucatan, the 3 most famous recados are negro, which is used for the relleno negro, rojo, which is used for the Cochinita Pibil, and recado blanco, which is the base for all other recados.
Cochinita Pibil is a dish reserved for special occasions like weddings, big birthdays, or religious celebrations. The pib used to cook Cochinita Pibil is traditionally used only once. However, because of the number of guests she receives, Chef Rosalia uses her pibs for about a month before constructing a new one.
Our first dish was tamales coladas, a special tamal made with lard, maíz, tomato, chicken, and a sauce from the achiote seeds. The tamal is wrapped in a banana leaf, then steamed, keeping the maíz moist and combining all of the beautiful flavors.
Oh, it's super flavorful. Oh, it has a little spice. And I love how it's not so dry. Like the moistness, I hate that word, but the moistness is really good. Oh, I'm so excited. Like, I'm so excited. Oh my god. This is so good.
Wow, the texture of the pork is so soft and smooth and tender.
To finish the entire experience and meal off, we are going to be drinking Stabentun, which is a liquor that is made with anise and miel, honey. Salud. Oh, it's quite lovely. I normally hate anise. Like, really, just do not like it. This is quite lovely. Definitely has strong anise flavors, but the honey from it really balances out. Absolutely incredible.
Mind-blowing.
Just such a unique experience to not just get to eat the most amazing meat in Cochinita and relleno negro we've ever had, but to also get to know more about her story, to see how she cooks it, to get to meet her. I mean, just the chef, Chef Rosalia, is part of the experience in itself. But now that we're full and very happy, we're gonna go jump in a very cool and refreshing cenote. That was fun.
We didn't know that this one was here until we got to Rosalia's place. The one we were expecting to visit today was actually Il Keel, which is all over Instagram and the internet in general. It's super famous, but we're glad we didn't end up going there because we talked to some people that we met at Lol Ha today, and they said it's a very similar experience to the cenotes we visited in Valladolid. So we have to wear a life jacket. It's super touristic. It's very, very developed. Tons of people visiting from Chichen Itza. This one, on the other hand, very private, very rustic. No one was there bothering us. They had life jackets available, but it wasn't required. It's just a much nicer experience all around. So my perfect day from Valladolid would be to get to Chichen Itza as soon as the gates open. I think it opens at 8 a.m. If you get there right then you can get all of your pictures without a bunch of tourists behind you, and it's gonna be way less crowded in the morning. By the time you're done at Chichen Itza, if you've made your reservation at Rosalia's, you can come here at 11 to sit down and dine at Rosalia's house. Then after you're done dining at Rosalia's house, you can walk a block over to Lol Ha and jump in the cenote. That's seriously like best day ever. Best day ever.
Oh, he's a little one. On our way out, we decided to stop by the archaeological zone. You don't need that anymore, do you?
That's true.
Which is called Yaxunah, and it means the first house. Yes, la primera casa. and it actually connected to the great city of Coba, which is a popular archaeological zone that you can go to that's not too far from Tulum. It's about halfway between here. There's actually a long white road that's supposed to connect all the way 100 kilometers from the ruins of Coba to here, because this was, I guess, like a
satellite city.
Yeah, that was important to the great city of Coba. So we're just gonna see what there is to see here. We're not paying for a guide or anything. It's only an hour before closing. It's typically 100 pesos per person when we came to visit the archaeological zone, and then if you wanted to hire a guide to learn more about the history and the site itself, that's separate. Yeah. The Mayans sure knew how to pick a location. It's beautiful up here. The trees kind of feel like it's a little bit of like the African Serengeti, but all of the green lushness, the yellow flowers, it's so beautiful. Today's one of those days where I just want to like pinch myself. It's hard to even believe that this is our life. Thank you for your guys' support here by watching our vlogs, by commenting, liking, and subscribing to our channel. Hint, hint, if you haven't subscribed yet. But we also want to give a special thank you to our patrons. You help us experience that much more. Go to those fun new places, try that amazing Cochinita Pibil. So if you're interested in learning more about Patreon, we'll have a link to that below, but to all of our patrons, thank you. And if you're interested in pursuing this lifestyle, let us know in the comments. We love hearing stories about how our vlogs have inspired you to change parts of your life, even if that's trying a new food or a drink because you saw or heard about it here. Maybe it's actually traveling to Mexico for the first time, or buying your first RV and going on the road. Whatever it is, we love hearing those stories, and I hope that you realize that you can pursue this lifestyle if it's something you've dreamed of. Take a small trip, start there, start with what you can, and know that this life can be reality for you, and that we don't take it for granted. We're very, very grateful. We're the only people here.
No vendors. No, nothing.
Yeah.
Just us, the bees, the birds, and the pyramids.
It's a pretty great way to explore an archaeological zone.
Yeah. If we could have got a guide, that would have been like the cherry on top.
Yeah, because we don't really know what we're looking at, really. No. I mean, they do have signs for a few things, but they don't actually explain anything about it. It's just telling you what the building was probably used for.
This feels like some Indiana Jones craziness.
The mosquito game is strong here.
We're at the top of the Templo Mayor, which is this giant hill that we saw from the other biggest temple that's over here. But it's completely unexcavated. I'm sure if they excavated this thing, it would be absolutely stunning. But for now, we just get to enjoy the views from at the top. The sun's about to set, and you can see the whole area from up here, at least through the trees.
Buenos dias! Today we ventured out to Chichen Itza. This has definitely been on our bucket list. It's one of the most famous archaeological sites. It's probably the pyramid that you think of when you see or hear about the Riviera Maya or the Yucatan Peninsula. It's super famous. It's definitely very touristic, and because of it, it's really expensive. Like shockingly expensive compared to other pyramid sites. It was 80 pesos to park our scooter in the parking lot, and then it was 533 pesos per person. If you want to film with our GoPro, it's 45 pesos extra. They took our microphone and made us keep it behind the gate when they saw it. So if our audio sucks right now, I'm really sorry. And then if you want a guide to be able to actually get familiar with the area, learn a little bit more about the Mayan culture, what happened here, important sites, that's going to be another 1,000 pesos. We thought our time at Calakmul was expensive, but this trumps it.
Chichen Itza was an important Mayan city, believed to have had as many as 35,000 residents at its peak. Like other Mayan sites in the area, the city had several important buildings, including a market where goods were traded, residences, 2 different cenotes, a ball court, and several temples used for various religious and political purposes.
After the Spanish arrived, Chichen Itza was abandoned, later rediscovered and reconstructed by the Carnegie Institution, starting in 1925. El Castillo, the city's most iconic temple, has 91 stairs and 365 steps, said to represent the days of the solar year. If you come to Chichen Itza on the spring or fall solstice, the sun aligns with the temple, creating a serpent-like shadow on the stairwell, something thousands of people come each year to witness.
The Mayan ball game Tlachtli wasn't played for fun, but rather for ceremonial reasons. The game was intense, lasting sometimes several days, and required the teams to score points by hitting a large leather ball through a hoop without using their head, hands, or feet. Along the ball court walls, hieroglyphics and inscriptions can be seen representing life at this time, including scenes of Tlachtli players losing their heads. Throughout the city, there are carvings of skulls and warriors, which were used as an intimidation tactic for visitors from subordinate villages, and also to document significant occurrences and beliefs of the time. Sacrifices were a common practice for the Mayan people, and most offerings were placed on demigod statues now called medium men. These messengers to the gods can be found in several locations around Chichen Itza, including the Temple of Warriors, where it is believed the beating hearts of enemies were offered after a successful battle.
There are 2 cenotes here at Chichen Itza. The one behind me is called the Sacred Cenote, and it's believed that the Mayans actually used the cenote for sacrificial offerings to the god of the underworld. There was actually 9 gods that they believed lived in the underworld, and this was one of the ways to access or connect with them. The person that discovered the cenote back in 1901 that explored this area ended up finding things like turquoise, jade, gold, silver, especially a lot of jewelry at the bottom, as well as human remains from children, which they believed they were sacrificing younger children after giving them an herbal drink that would kind of be like medicinal mushrooms, I guess you could say, but to help them connect with the spirits. So this was a very important area for the Mayan culture. They believed that the sacrifice of these children could help bring things like water or a good harvest. It was definitely done with intention and with purpose. It was never done just out of ill will. It is very warm here, so if you're coming, a little tip, make sure you bring water, have a hat, have sunscreen so that you don't get burnt, because it's pretty much out in the open. There's also tons of little vendors and stalls selling all different things for you to take home. So Eagle scale of coolness, what's your consensus?
I'd give it 5 because it has a lot of features that none of the other archaeological sites have. And yes, a lot of them are restored, so they're not original, but they're still here. So it's still rad to see what it would have looked like when it was still in use.
And there are enough buildings and grounds for you to feel like you've really explored. But because of the price, I'm gonna give it 4 eagles. Just because if you compare this to Teotihuacan, which cost 80 pesos per person, it just seems like they know that they have a ton of tourists coming from the Cancun, Tulum region, and they charge for it, and that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, even Calakmul was cheaper, and you had to work to get to Calakmul.
And there was
had a guide.
3 times the amount of pyramids to explore there.
Yep. And the guide was all day, not just 2.5 hours like it is here.
Super glad we came, glad we paid, but I think you can still get really cool experiences elsewhere if you have a chance to visit other pyramids as well, for cheap.
We got back to the scooter. It won't start.
It did something weird the other day where it flashed a light on the dash that's supposed to indicate that the fob battery is dying.
From the help from the taxi drivers, they first tested our battery to see if it was the actual battery by jumping it, but nothing even happened. So then we realized it was definitely the key fob. Luckily, they called one of their friends. The friends brought over a few of the batteries that fit in key fobs. Unfortunately, it wasn't the right size. So one of the guys actually took out the battery from his key fob for his motorcycle at his house and gave it to us. So we paid for it, of course. We tipped them nicely, but we're back on the road.
Dude,
Stressful.
it's always an adventure on the Xmax. We had a long day at the pyramid and dealing with the scooter problems and a 45-minute ride home. So we didn't want to cook. So we got pizza and french fries. Yeah.
Just as we were preparing to go to bed, Dennis looked over by my pillow and there's a scorpion. What? What do we do? Floridians are not used to scorpions. I didn't even know there were scorpions in the Yucatan. I'm just glad they did not sting our cats.
Like, how did it get in? And is there more behind the wall? Like, go in the jar. Okay. Okay, it's in the jar. It's in the jar. And it's pissed.
You're very good though.
Check him out. Whoa. We just got a new pet. There was a scorpion in our bed.
Even though it's a scorpion, we are not catch and kill. This sucker will be released back into the wild, but far away from our RV.
In Virginia, we had ladybugs and stink bugs invade us. In Mexico, the first trip, we had like flies, now scorpions. This is probably the strangest thing we've had to kick out of the RV. And I'm just curious, like, what's the strangest thing that you've ever found in your RV as far as like bug or animal? Like, leave it in the comments below, because this is definitely one for the books here. Scorpion in the bed.
No, thank you.
No, thank you.
Ready? Let's do this. We're finally leaving Valladolid. It was such an amazing time. This is definitely a spot you want to dedicate a decent amount of time to explore the general area, the cenotes, the food, the culture. There is a lot to do and see here. We really hoped you enjoyed this video and actually both of our Valladolid videos. If you haven't seen the first one, make sure to hop back and check that one out. You can also get a tour of where we stayed in our RV. That was an amazing place in and of itself. We're going to give you a bonus video that will come out on Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So make sure that you are subscribed and ring that bell so you're alerted when a new video drops, even bonus videos like the one that's coming out this Friday. We'll see you next week. Adios. Finally, flamingos! Oh god, I'm terrible at this.
Here, this.
Okay.
Okay. There, you want to here, and this, move this here.
Okay. Oh, okay. Como así? Or no? I'm still terrible at this. Okay, no más, no más, no más, no más. We'll leave this to the chef.
Graceful. Power and grace, power and grace.
Oh, I gotta get out of here. I'm literally getting eaten alive. I feel like the mosquitoes are like bouncing off of me. Ugh.